important for me, and I'll tell you about some pyrogenic features in soils. And I should say the classification, soil classification at all, but I'm a user of and the classification tool, and probably my view is quite a simple one, but user I also should express my experience here. I cannot change the slide. Yes, that's it. As everyone knows, fire has common impact both on natural and anthropogenic landscapes, and means that fire-affected soils are widely spread all over the world. And here you can see a fire map where every yellow or red dot a very short period of time. So you can imagine how and widespread this impact in the planet. It was about wildfires, but we know that fire human beings from the very beginning of their history, and it's related to cities and very common in all settling areas, even in our so yeah, the for the last several decades, these topics of fire archives in paleogeography, got very important, and you see that in all data there are lots of works related, but we do not instrument in soil classification to express these features related to fires, or nearly do not have. In see just several big reviews devoted to this geosystems and in archaeological contexts. And I would like to show just several very different sources in different environments where we found the fire events. I'm sorry, it's very slow. Yes. The first example, archaeological context, is in archaeological context. This is the medieval settlement, fortress in Delta alluvial plain of Serbia. This is that is very important. This is nearly free of forest vegetation, because normally we in natural landscapes we most of fire events related to forested areas, but here also we in habitation deposits there are lots of features related to fire, both for fires as local and others related to the local use of fire, and morphology. In field morphology, big units which can be fallen big areas in open excavation excavations and just full of charcoals and stratified inside the layers. This we suspect to be related to fire events, to settlement. And other features are related to fires. They are localized in the sequences and not well stratified, and normal quite thin because all these objects cleaned during usage, and the material of charcoals and pyrogenic calcite, because this is arid environment and it's very well preserved there. Then we move to the wildfire fires and soil sedimentary sequences. This is the The next site is located in the very north of Russia. This is Kiev landforms in Kola Peninsula, and you see very extensive layer with charcoals. They are not always very thick, but full of the charcoal material. And what is interesting, normally every this fire event marked by this charcoal is underlined by the profiles of podosols. Of course, these soils are as podosols, but they, according to their genesis, they are podosols.
PhD Maria, sorry for the interruption. Can you switch off your camera for improve your internet connection, please?
Oh yes, I will try to do it. Yes, I stopped the camera.
Thank you very much. And you can say us when we change the slides. Just say next slide, please, and we move it.
Yeah, okay. Next slide, please.
Thank you very much.
So here you can see these little podosols in these soil sedimentary sequences related to fire events. Next slide, please. And as you see, according to the C14 dating, these fire events, this is the nearly full Holocene record of fire events. The youngest one is related to something like 300 years, and the oldest one is the early Holocene. The next, please. So next fire archive is located also in the Russian North Pinigo district, Arkhangelsk region, and this is also very similar. This is also podosols and spodosols and arenasols. And next, please. And as you can see, these fire features here in these landscapes are very intrinsically distributed in the profiles, and actually never form the continuous layers. Next, please. Another example of fire archives is the south of Siberia, Tver Mountains, and this is located in the steppe environment under forested slopes. And this is important that here you also cannot see directly the layers of charcoals, but charcoals in big quantities incorporated in molic horizons. Next, please. The next example is the crysols in southern Altai mountains. And here you see that fire-related features are very tiny and also do not form big layers, but they are very important according to the, if to think about the history of the soils and landscapes. And also, I think they somehow should be included in classification. Next, please. The next example is the taiga of Fourth Baikalia region. And this is phyrexiums, and you see that also here charcoal material is incorporated in molic horizons, and doesn't form the continuous charcoal layer. Next, please. So about classification decisions, if we look in the actual classification, we do not see any qualifiers related to fire events, but in the previous version we had the carbonic qualifier, which related to the artifacts, organic carbon as artifacts. But in the first draft of the fourth edition of the WRB, to be presented in Glasgow, we find the pyrocarbonic qualifier, the new one, and Peter left the remark that this allows classifying charcoal hosts occurring in several groups, soil groups. So now we will have something about charcoal, about pyrogenic material. Next, please. But if to think about quantitative characteristics of this, first not about quantitative, but about the ideological, this carbonic qualifier, as I understand, offered also for artifacts, for artificial charcoal, for man-introduced charcoal, but it doesn't. It cannot take into account the wildfire charcoal material. And if you see quantitative characteristics, we see that it should have at least 5% of organic carbon. But as we see here, not always layers which are just which contain a lots of charcoal have high quantities of organic carbon. As here you see that the biggest amount of organic carbon is a bit more than 4%. And if to think about the counting of grain counting of charcoals, I think it's too time consuming for as a characteristic for classification, and also not always it is the 5%. It is quite a big amount. So next, please. One more point, as we saw in several sites are shown in the presentation, quite often charcoal pyrogenic materials are included in molic horizon. And if we think about content of organic carbon, the most part of organic carbon in such cases are soil carbon, soil organic carbon. Next, please. Probably magnetic susceptibility would be good quantitative characteristics for pyrogenic materials because it's easily detectable in field. Next, please. One more feature which is normally related to fires. It can be met both in natural environments and also in archaeological context. This is reddish burned mineral material rich in hematite. Next, please. This is the same feature in natural environment. Next, please. So, a wide variety of soils may include both pyrocarbonic and or mineral pyrogenic material. These materials can be related to human activities as artifacts or can be introduced into the soil due to fires in natural environments. So, new pyrocarbonic qualifier may be applied not only for charcoal huffs in anthropogenic context, but also for layers related to natural wildfire events. But in this case, the definition should be widened. Offered for pyrocarbonic qualifier quantitative criteria seem to be not very consistent. Often fire archives contain thin but numerous layers or series of layers rich in pyrocarbonic material. Thus, thickness more than 10 centimeters possibly not should be obligatory. Organic matter in fire-related layers very often has complex nature. It contains pyrogenic carbon, not completely combusted organic materials, and also soil organic matter. Thus, the content of organic carbon far from always correspond to organic carbon that meets the diagnostic criteria of artifacts. By grain counting artifacts of pyrolysis in the fraction which is mentioned in the new qualifier seem to be too time consuming for classification purposes. And burnt material, mineral burnt material has not been reflected in classification yet. Next, please. Thank you for your attention.